schools scattered around New England. Let's welcome Jake St. John out to the
Thank you. I'm going to be reading from the 13th round from 6-foot Swells. Southern Latitudes for John Griner. I'm sitting here in the afternoon sun, reading Hunter S. Thompson as the good doctor attempts to flee Las Vegas. My mind begins to shift and alter as I recall the night I met a guy who everyone called the Baron in a Peruvian prison cell, and how we were able to produce the right paperwork thanks to a well-timed phone call from our friend at the embassy. We were able to cross the border by midnight, just as the hangman walked slowly down the stairs of the gallows and untied his rope in disappointment. The Baron and I crawled through junipers and cactus, rocks and rattlesnakes, finally limping through the beaten doors of a hillside cantina, enjoyed a bottle, and celebrated the next chapter. This poem is called Spring. Sometime around 6th grade, I put my action figures away, collected a bit of courage, walked across the schoolyard, and asked for her phone number. Things never made sense again. Our World Series. When we were kids, we played wiffle ball all summer on my grandparents' farm. Another game 7 would start each morning. We'd hit home runs down by the barnyard fence, haul the catches down the line by the old oak tree, or we'd strike out as the ball ricocheted off the lawn chair backstop. We'd drink water pumped from the well, and we'd laugh together, because life was as good as it could be. Then one morning, with no warning, there were no more summer games, no more home runs, no diving catches, stolen bases, or laughter. For some of us, that summer was the closest we'd ever come to any sort of victory. Community service. Community service. Every day down at the center, slinging meals and packing food trucks, we'd listen to conspiracy theories from the guy they call Ponytail. We'd unwillingly get caught in gossip from one of the ladies who could still dance, and did. I'd see Walter shooting pool, quietly nodding, smiling at the folks passing through the front door. I'd grab a stick and ask him how he was doing. And he'd laugh and he'd say, "I'm still kicking, just not as high." He'd tell me how he won everyone else's cigarettes on an army base, taking a Russian heavyweight to the cards at 160 pounds. He knocked me down, but he couldn't keep me down. Years later, Walter waltzed into the liquor store I was working at on the other side of town. He strolled through the door. "Hey kid," grabbed the beer. He'd just gotten out of the hospital and was staying with a nephew who drove him to appointments. As he walked out the door and fell into the passenger seat, he raised his can my way in an invincible toast and called out, "I'm still fucking kicking!" And today I'd like to believe he still is. Dance lesson. May or may not be the same one from before. Dance lesson. She was blonde and older than me. We were both at a junior high school dance, standing in opposite corners of the gymnasium talking to friends. She walked through the sound-activated shadows and asked me to dance. Wide-eyed and off balance, I nodded and shoved out into her arms. I stepped back and forth, butchered her feet, smiled awkwardly. We danced to an unbelievably slow song. I questioned her between riffs. Thought you weren't interested. She leaned in close to my ear and whispered, "I'm not, but your friends don't know that. Tell them you turned me down." And as I climbed my stairway to heaven, and waltzed back to the wall of questioning friends. I did just that. This is the title poem, The 13th Round. The rejection letters and bills connect with a flurry of stiff right hands. The whiskey jabs my senses, and the day's news delivers an uppercut. I stagger back to my corner, grab my pen and paper, and wait for the bell to ring again. Ring the bell. Success bleeds in back alleys. It's drunk on bar stools begging for a shot. It's taking 2 punches to give one. It's howling at the moon on a cloudy night. It's staggering to your feet when you know the odds of getting knocked back down are 2-1 at best. Confessional. When I was younger and in my college years, weakened and beaten on a Sunday morning, a friend pulled me from bed and dragged me to church. I sat upright in a haze of morning sun that broke through the glass, as stained as any soul in the building. The preacher spun tales of promised salvation, perhaps even saved a soul or two. Towards the end of his holy ramblings, my friend leaned over and whispered into my bloodshot eyes that she thought my whole problem with the world was that I didn't believe in anything at all. She thought that if I believed in something, anything at all, maybe I wouldn't beat myself up so much. Might even find a little peace. I really thought about what she said, as everyone shook hands, mumbled niceties, smiled at each other. And yet, in the end, as the doors split open, golden rays pierced the shadowed pulpit, I just didn't believe her. And I'm gonna finish up with this one. A Night in Ketchum. A Night in Ketchum. I was turning around and out of my mind the night I found Hemingway's grave. In a stupor, I'd stumbled the street and visited every bar still operating that he drank in. In one joint, I pulled up a stool, ordered a cocktail, traveled back to 1952. Neon lights, mixed drinks, reliving memories I never had. Then I crossed the street and drank beer with a retired couple from Massachusetts. We watched the Red Sox game at Whiskey Jacques, my namesake. My actual birth certificate was Jacques St. John, was my legal name. Anyway, I decided then and there that I'd drink a rum and coke with Papa anytime. No guns though. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah!
Take your time, everybody. Thank you, Jake. Enough time, Mike.